Hello and welcome to ESL Revolution, everyone. I am your content creator and professor, Dr. B. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to part 3 of the Sage Seer Healing Video Extravaganza. That's right, we are back here. And this is the last video of the Healer series that I've put together. Don't forget, hit the sub button. Yep, that one right there. The one you're looking at. You're thinking about it. There you go. You did it. Okay, very good. See, that wasn't so hard. Click the notification button because there will be weekly videos coming up on this channel for you as we move forward. Big shout out today to Merlin Swartor, whose foundational guide, I should say, is the basis for this video. He and I had some conversation some months back and gave me permission to use his guide in this series. So thank you very much. And let's get on with the video. I've got a shorter time than normal to do this video. So I'm going to try to compress what would normally be a 45-minute video into something more about 30 minutes, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, let me get this page set up. Oh, wrong one. That's not the run I wanted. That was my YouTube page, by the way. Okay, there we go. So this video is going to be talking about 3 things: gearing, stats, and power management. Okay, those are the 3 things. A little bit with rotation as well, but the rotation and the power management kind of function together. So keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look first of all at gearing and stats. Here we go, gearing and stats. Let me put this to here. Okay, so you're going to see some numbers down here, and you're going to see some numbers here, and there's the gear. So let's talk about gear. When you are healing, you are going to be wanting the Empowered Restorers set. Okay, that's the one you're going to want to be going for. This is the best in slot right now for the Sage Healer. The reason why, well, first of all, before I get into that, there was another set called Revitalized Mystic. Now, I do not have that set here. It's not here. But I do have it. Now, the reason why you want to have that other set is just in case you happen to be healing with another Sage Healer. That way you can bring both of those sets to bear when you're healing. I still think it's probably a better thing if you happen to be healing with another healing spec. So a trooper or a scoundrel, okay? But if you've got two of them together, then at least wear different sets so that you can complement each other in your run. So that basically means that that with the, I'm just looking at my notes here, that we, you know, you've got one set that would be dealing with the bubble, right, which is basically this skill right here, the Force Armor. So you want to have, so the, you know, they've got that set going on there, and then the Revitalized Mystic is more about the skill Rejuvenate, this one right here. So you can actually have both of those kind of working together. So if you've got one, great. Try to get a second one if you can. You know, don't burn through tech fragments if you need to save them for other things. That's fine. But you know, go for it and see what you can have. Okay. So you want to be using force harmonization. You can see that right there, +1 force harmonization. Okay, and I think I've got them all. Yes, are they all golded? Yes, they're all golded. There's the boots there that gives me the plus 0.4, and I believe if that goes into, where does that one go? Oh, there it is right there. So you can see the crit chance there. I have the skills buff at plus 9.00. Okay, so that's the buff there. So you want to be using the force harmonization. Why? Because that's the particular one. If I open it up here, force harmonization increases the healing done by force abilities. Well, we're a force healer, so it's perfect. Also, you want to be using unlettered lethal mods. Okay, putting those up. There's the one there. So you want the superior lethal mod 80. Okay, is the one that you want for your set, and those are going to go on every piece that you have in here. Also, in terms of relics, you want the Devastating Vengeance and the Primeval Fate Sealer. Okay, those are going to be your standard ones. So there's Devastating. This gives you endurance and power. And then, of course, I've got but it's healing or healing an ally or damaging an enemy has a 30% chance to grant you 2892 crit rating for 6 seconds. Okay, so that's that one there. And then you want the Primeval Fate Sealer because, as you can see, increases alacrity rating by 2314. Now that one there is a clicky. Okay, now what I mean by this, and this one here is automatically going to generate that crit for you. Whenever you do something, there's a 30% chance that you're going to get that crit rating bonus. This one here is a clicky, and you can see that one right here. It's on my bar, ready to go. C4, that's funny. So it's kind of an explosion of alacrity, and if you know what C4 is, you'll probably be laughing right now. So that's the clicky there, and it's, you know, it's there if you are in a position where you need to put out a lot of healing all at the same time. It does speed things up by dropping your cooldowns. Okay, so that one's there. Now, tacticals. I'm going to talk about those right now. As you can see down here, I have 3 tacticals that are on my bar. We have One for All, we have All for One, and we have the Metaphysical Mender. Now, the Metaphysical Mender is one that I have, but I do not need yet because Endless Offensive is the set that I would need to have in order for that to be useful as a healing set. The reason why, so these two here are together, but presently not being used. You know, I've only got 1 out of 6. This Endless Offensive, I believe, drops out of the operations. Okay. Now this one here, I happen to pick up from the dealer, the armory dealer. It just happened to be Kai Zyken. I picked it up from him just to be able to show you that those two work together. So you'd need that set plus this one, but it is a part of the Sage Seer repertoire, I guess you could say. It's just that at present I do not have that. Okay. I've got the tactical, but I don't have the set. So if that's the case, then you are going to be using the All for One or the One for All or the All for One in terms of tacticals. Now let me explain these here. The All for One, this one right here, Wandering Mend heals up to 5 targets instead of 4. Now, why is that important? You're thinking, it's only 1 person. But in actual fact, that increases your healing with Wandering Mend by 20% because you're hitting 1 extra person. So it's a very nice little bonus there. So this is something that you'll be using a lot. It's basically, you know, if you don't have anything else going on, that's, excuse me, that's the one you want to be using. That's the one I have currently. Oh wait, no, it's that one that I have currently. But if I click this one, there we go. Flip that over. All for one, or one for all, is on there, and that's the one that is kind of your go-to. All right, that's kind of your go-to. All for one. Now this one here is this one here. Let me flip that back. All for one. Salvation's pool concludes with a burst of light force energy healing up to 8 allies within it for 2368. Blah blah blah. So this one here gives you a nice little finale of healing after salvation. Now, why is this one? Because this one is an AoE healing tactical, and it's something where, you know, if you've got people balled up in a group and you've got AoE damage, you could throw this down as an AoE heal and be able to help your teammates out. Okay, so that's something that you would want to deal with. Also, if you know you're going to drop it down, tell people, okay, everybody, salvation's coming down, ball up, boom, then drop it. Okay, don't waste the salvation on one person, otherwise it's pointless. Okay, now in terms of your actual gear, right? I said that the Empowered Restorer is the one that you want to go for. Why is that? Because of what it does to Force Armor. Okay, Force Armor applies Empowered Restoration to its target, restoring 2799 health over 12 seconds. So there's a tick on that. So as it is negating damage, it is also providing health at the same time. And surrounding a target with Force Armor immediately heals it for 37 to 4600. All right, so if you're just looking at my character here, if I'm doing this, boom, it gives me that. Now, as this is active, it is reducing damage, and I'm able to take, get heals up. Now, the reason why it's so short at present, it was only 800, because technically I'm on Tython here. So I'm in my ship, but I'm parked at Tython, so those numbers are going to be much, much lower. But at 70, 75, you're going to get some good numbers. Okay, so that's really, so the Empowered Restorer set really becomes your go-to set for sure. Okay, now like I said, Revitalized Mystic is a set that you could have. I have it in my vault. I would probably start building up that set now that I've got this set done. So get your Empowers first. Then if you've got pieces of Mystic left over and you can fill out a 6-piece bonus, then go for that and have both of those available in your inventory. Right now I've got the Gathering Storm one because that's my DPS set. But we don't have to worry about that right now. The Revitalized Mystic is not particularly powerful anymore. And so, you know, it's okay. If you got nothing else, hey, use it and go for it. The 6-piece bonus on the Revitalized Mystic is not, it doesn't have a really good chance of proccing, so you're really not going to be as effective with that. Okay. I wouldn't recommend it, but again, if that's what you've got, use what you have. Okay, so we've talked about our gear, we've talked about our tacticals down here. Let's go to specific stats here, just to finish this off. So there's our stats there. You can see, I think these are all ogged out. Just making sure. Yep. Okay, so they're all ogged out. Now I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've got a couple in here. Let me just make sure. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. So the reason my power is a little bit low, usually I'm over 9,000, is because I do have some enhancements that need to be changed around, okay? I'm just waiting for some of them to come in with this last conquest, and I have yet to swap them over. So normally that would be about 9,000 to 9,200-ish, give or take. So keep that in mind, that there is some power discrepancy here in my numbers. Okay, so keep that in mind. Next one that I want to talk about is alacrity. Okay, alacrity is going to be your primary third stat. That seems weird, but there are basically, for healers, there are two main tertiary stats: alacrity and critical. Alacrity is the one that you want to have done first. You want to have, let me just bring up guild here, okay? Now, as you can see, we have the zeal bonus activated here in Crimson Rebels. Now, because of that bonus, I'm going to receive a 5% bonus onto the onto my set. Okay, so I'm going to get an automatic 5%. But here's the thing: when I have the guild perk at 5%, I can actually get to a 1.3 global cooldown on my skills, which allows me to heal faster. But it does not impact, even though I have to take out a little bit of critical, it does not really impact a whole lot. So it's very, very handy to, if you have that perk available, awesome, use it and get yourself up to or reduce your global cooldown from 1.5 to 1.3. Now, if you have the guild perk for 1.3 global cooldown, you will need 1,865 alacrity. 1,865. Now, you'll notice here that I am a little bit over, okay? I am 45 alacrity over. No big deal, okay? No big deal. It's fine. It's not going to make or break, so that's no problem there. If you do not have the zeal perk, okay, you don't have the zeal perk, you will need 1,213 alacrity, and that gets you to a 1.4 global cooldown. Okay, a 1.4 global cooldown. Now, the question comes up, well, if I don't have the guild perk, can I use a 1.3 cooldown? Yes, but that would be crazy. Why? The reason why is that you would basically have no critical, because all of your tertiary stats would go into alacrity, because to get what's the phrase I'm looking for? To get your alacrity, to get your global cooldown to 1.3 without the perk will cost you 3,208 alacrity. And that is going to drop your critical down at least to what is half of what I have now. And that is not, it's not helpful. It's not helpful. Because it really, number one, it hurts your energy management because your regen rate goes way down. And two, you just have your criticals are going to significantly suffer. Now, can you do it? I'm sure you can, but I would advise against it. So, yeah, so that's how that works. If you're not sure what I'm really talking about and you're having problems understanding that, please put a comment down below, or ask in guild chat, or ask in the SWTOR forums. I'll be able to help you out there, no problem. Now, you'll also notice that I do have 264 alacrity, and that's because I'm running the proficient stim. This gives me accuracy and crit rating as an increase. which is this one right here. Accuracy is increased by 264, and critical is 109 for 400. Well, it's this particular one, 408 minutes. Now, why do I do this? There may be a time when, if I'm looking at this skill right here, Mind Snap, I might need to interrupt something. And having that little bit of alacrity does, or not alacrity, accuracy does help me in terms of my resists. Okay? It's not a lot, but it certainly does help a great deal. There was some numbers about that. I can't remember what they are, but even that little bit of accuracy reduces the possibility of an interrupt being missed by a very large percentage. So it's definitely a nice one to have. Once you have your alacrity filled out, everything else goes into critical so that you can get those nice big shiny numbers. Okay, so that's the stats, that's the gear. Now the last thing I want to talk about is energy management, right? This is one thing that I think is extremely important when we are a healer. If we run out of energy, we're in trouble, okay? It's just the way it goes. So we want to make sure that we are using our skills well, and we're using them effectively so that we actually won't have a problem when it comes time to look down at our bar and it's like, oh boy, I've got 100 force left. So I have on my bar here several setups just to make it easier for you to see what I'm doing that will help you understand force management a bit better. Okay, now my first combo right here is from number 1 to 6. This is kind of like a pretty big single target burst heal, but it also drops my force around a fifth of what I have. So it will take off probably about 120 points of force. Except I use benevolence at, I took it off. It was vindicate. Vindicate, this skill right here. So vindicate, if I do this, vindicate increases my force regeneration by 2 for 10 seconds. So as I'm doing this, as I'm using these skills, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you see this lights up, boom. Now look at that. Right? So it allows me to regen a little bit faster. And actually if I hit this one, I can hit this one, it's a 10-second cooldown. I think I can hit this one like 3 times or something like that, or 4 times. And if you can do it in really quick succession, and your power will just shoot right, your force will just shoot right back up. So that's one that you can use there. And this, again, this is a way of being able to put out a lot of heals, but at the same time build in your force management within healing. It's the same thing for a trooper. It's the same thing for scoundrel. So that way you don't have to be like, oh boy, I'm all out of X. I'm all out of my force. I'm all out of my power. Okay, that's what you want to be doing. Okay, now if you need a little bit of light energy management, okay, you can use this one right here. Rejuvenate, Healing Trance, and Vindicate. And you can use those 3 together. This is a really nice little combo that you can use. It puts out some nice healing, but it's light on power use. Okay, so this combo should be used every other rejuvenate to maintain rependent stacks. Okay, so you just hit this one, hit this one, hit this one, and you can see And if you see here, I'm really not using a lot of force at all. So it's a nice little top off one. This one here is kind of built into some of the other stuff that I'm doing, but it is nice to have it as a standalone. Okay. Next one I have is my S1 to S8. This is heavy energy management. This is a little bit more involved. Okay, it's a little bit more involved because this really does allow you to focus on energy regeneration because you have that force armor shield up front, and it gives you a little bit of leeway to regen. So that's one. 2 vindicates for energy and very energy efficient healing with 2 rejuvenates. Okay, we've got one there, we've got one there, we've got vindicate here, and we've got vindicate here. Okay. A free buffed benevolence, a buffed healing trance, and highly energy efficient unbuffed deliverance. Okay, these are the different skills that are going on. So if I want to do this again, heavy energy management, very good combo. Hit this one. Hit this one. Hit this one again. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong one. I'm sorry. I want this one. This one. Okay, now look at that. Now I know I'm not in combat, but even still, I'm not using Here's my benevolence. And then if I wanted to, I could pop off my my wandering mend at the very end to just top up some other people. So this is a really, really nice... I put my crit right there just in case I need to go back and do it again. I can then give myself a little bit of extra crit to make sure that those might actually top off. I'm just using the basic blue ones for now, which is fine. But if I was running in an operation, I'd probably put purples on there just for ease of use, because it gives over 1,000 for that next one. Okay, so that's that one. Now there's another little combination, which is this one right here: Deliverance, Benevolence, and Rejuvenate. Now this one here is actually already inside these two, but sometimes you can use this on its own. Why? Well, if you are using Deliverance, I believe I gotta swap these around actually. Let me do this. There we go. Sorry about that. So I'm using Deliverance, and this is a force efficient. It only uses 45 force, and it's fairly efficient for the amount. So I can do that one. Then Rejuvenate gives me the armor buff. It gives me a hot and a large burst heal if it's refreshing, and grants conveyance. Now, if I'm refreshing, that means I'm using it a second time. And then this one here, Benevolence, is basically a free, powerful, buffed heal, and it's not going to cost me anything. So if I use this one here, okay, that one. So you see how Benevolence? Now Benevolence doesn't cost me anything. I'm using this one, and I'm using this one. Okay, and I can go back. I can hit this one. I can hit this one. So that's a really nice, it's a really nice little small single target heal. Does not require a lot of force energy, so it's fantastic. Okay, now in lieu of time that I have right now, because I am running out of time, there are several notes that I would very highly recommend you looking at. Take a look at the notes for these videos, because in the notes I've placed Merlin's guide, and there are specific things about AoE healing that, because of my time constraints right now, I can't touch on, and I would highly recommend you taking a look at those notes. Okay, Those deal with salvation and salvation. What was the other one? It was, oh yeah, it had to do with the issues surrounding conveyance. Okay, and including the buffs of conveyance and resplendence. Okay, so these here, those two buffs, conveyance and resplendence, are very important buffs to be tracking while you are playing. Conveyance is used to provide a buff to your other healing abilities. We've talked about that before in the first video there. And there's 5 different heals that affects. And then resplendence is utilized as an element for energy management to regenerate force. Okay, so there's some things in there that you might want to you want to be paying attention to those things for sure. So I'd highly recommend you taking a look at the notes. Again, I'm sorry, I just don't have enough time at present to deal with them. However, that doesn't mean if you don't have questions, I can't answer them. So please go ahead and do so. Anyway, that's it for the Sage Seer healing line, and that finishes the Republic healers. Next week, I will be taking all of this and transferring it over to the Imperial side to give you a look at the Sork healer so that you can see how this all translates over to Imperial. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Remember, subs and notifications, it's free. Go ahead, weekly videos coming your way. And thank you very much. May the Force be with you, and we'll see you in game very, very soon. Peace, everybody, and have a great day.